Good morning. How's everyone out there today? Yes. It looks like we're a little diminished in ranks. So was every place else yesterday. So I don't guess people are on vacation, but we're an energetic lot here this morning. So we're all feeling pretty grateful. Let's say I am grateful. I am grateful. Let's say that one more time.
I am grateful.
Now if you could stand up and say thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
The words are on the board. Thank you. Thank you. Here we go. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This wonderful, this wonderful, this wonderful day. This wonderful, this wonderful, this wonderful day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This joyful, this joyful, this joyful day. This joyful, this joyful, this joyful day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Woo! Yeah, thank you. You may be seated. Oh, what a glorious day, and it's so beautiful to be together and come together with open hearts, lifted spirits, opening our consciousness, grounding our feet, and being fully present in this moment together. Right? Yes, good to have you here. To my left is the wonderful Chris Eagle, who will be leading us in meditation, our service leader. I'm Reverend Victoria Loveland-Coen. There's a couple new faces here. Good to see you. Welcome. And we want to say a welcome to those of you joining online, Facebook, YouTube. Hi, we see you. We're waving to you. And just, maybe say hello back in the chat, and we feel like we've got a conversation going. All right, so let's just take a nice deep breath together. Bring ourselves into this present moment. And as Chris lights the divine light candle, let's just take a moment and be with that sacred element of fire. Such a blessing that is. A reminder of that fire, of that divine spirit within us, awakening us in this moment. And from this place, I invite you to say our opening invocation together, which is on the screen. Together, there is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life. Infinite divine love, omnipresent. Take a breath. Really feel the possibility of that. Infinite divine love in this moment within each of us, expanding, growing, radiating out from us, connecting us with each other and with everyone, everything on this planet. We are blessed, and so it is.
I surrender.
Just allowing that music to allow us to deepen our experience. If it's comfortable, if you'd remove anything that might be on your laps, settle into what you're seated upon, and close your eyes or gaze softly down. And just allow my words to carry you into your full experience. Feel your breath. Perhaps you can feel your heartbeat or your pulse. But I'm asking you to feel. And you might be able to feel more deeply than just say what you normally do. Maybe you can feel the inside of your lungs as you breathe. Your trachea, where all that breath comes in and travels out. Also, feel your shoulders. And with your breath, allow them to perhaps rise a little bit and then fall and relax even further. Just being fully suspended by the rest of your bones, your vertebra. Feel your neck, feel your head, your jaw. Perhaps you want to move it a little bit just to feel if there's any tension that's ready to melt. Just using your breath to move it, to allow it to just liquefy and cascade away wherever it needs to go. Perhaps your brow wants a little love too. Just allowing it to settle. And maybe the top of your head, where everything is stitched together, wants that encouraging breath just to allow it to relax even more. Our skeleton is designed to allow everything to sit on top of each other, so you don't have to do as much work. So with your breath, just allow it to find its own balance. And in among all of your bones, you have your organs, you have your systems. There are these amazing flows that take care of everything, every day, every moment. Nourishment and nurturance moving back and forth, support, release, all of it transpiring without you having to do anything. So inside of all of that, there is a core of you. Maybe it feels like it's your feelings, maybe it's your thoughts, but there's this vibrancy that is in you. I want you to pay attention to that now. If it feels a little murky at this moment, that's okay. Just keep paying attention to it. It will start to clarify and clear. And as you breathe, it will bring more clarity as well. And in that, you may even see light. Or if you feel more, you might feel a vibrancy. Could be kind of a vibration or warmth or an intensity. And I want you to be with that and breathe with that. You may find that it wants to grow. Or maybe it just wants to become more vibrant. Whatever it wants to do, I want you to be with that. Over the next few moments in the quiet, just allowing it to become more fully you. continuing to feel this vibrancy. If there are any people, places, things that don't yet feel part of this, I ask you to call them softly aloud or just in your own inner sanctuary. Call them to invite them in. All of these and the prayers in this prayer request box, all of them are enfolded in this energy and are being divinely orchestrated through consciousness, God, Goddess, Spirit, whatever name that points to this for you. And that they are being held in this energy that is theirs already. And in this moment, they are finding their way to realizing what they are already requesting is here and now. We release this knowing that everything is finding its divine timing, finding its way into the unfolding that works best for all involved, including ourselves. Allowing that vibrancy to move, if it hasn't already, invite it into your limbs, into your arms, your legs, perhaps your feet, toes, hands, fingers, up your neck, into your head, feeling that vibrancy move in through your body. And when you're ready, open your eyes and feel how you are present, but so much more. And if it's comfortable, why don't you find at least 2 other divine beings to make eye contact with? And you have many to choose from here, so there's no lack of that. All right. I am going to hand it over to Bright Matter.
All right. So, communication is the theme this week. There's been a lot of communication about what we're going to do today, even as early as 7:53 this morning. But this is a lovely song. It is a happy song. It is a positive song. It is a bit of a hymn. There's a little self-indulgence for me to practice this song before I audition with this song for something else. But never mind that.
Never mind.
It's a lovely song with lovely lyrics and a lovely D. Beulah land, I am longing for you, and someday on thee I'll stand, where my home shall be eternal. Beulah land, sweet Beulah land. I'm kind of homesick for a country that I've never seen before. No sad goodbyes will there be spoken, for time won't matter anymore. Beulah land, I am longing for you, and someday on thee I'll stand, where my home shall be eternal. Beulah land, sweet Beulah land. Beulah land, I am longing for you, and someday on thee I'll stand, where my home shall be eternal. Beulah land, sweet Beulah land. I'm looking now across the river, where my faith is clear in sight. No silent lies will there be spoken, and in a few days I will take my heavenly flight. Beulah land, I am longing for you, and someday on thee I'll stand, where my home shall be eternal. Beulah land, sweet Beulah land, where my home shall be eternal. Beulah land, sweet Beulah land. Love it, Mom.
Ah, Chris, right now.
Well, I think, Chris, you've passed the audition. And I think what he didn't tell you was that he sang that song as he was scattering his mother's ashes in the Pacific Ocean. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, so very meaningful. I know. Ah, all right. Hello, all. Yeah. Okay, so today we are continuing our exploration of our power of understanding, which is one of our 12 powers. That power of understanding helps us both in our spiritual growth and awakening, and at the same time helps us to navigate in this human dimension, this dense physical experience that we have chosen to play in for a while, with all of its limitations and the emotions and the intrusive thoughts and the mistaken beliefs and the false stories that have been told to us, with all of that. So our power of understanding helps us navigate these choppy waters while helping us, reminding us of who we truly are, our divine self. So last week we talked about understanding ourselves, and today we're going to be exploring that wild territory of understanding others. A seemingly impossible task, but really, if we can make an attempt to we don't have to agree. This is not about agreeing. This is just understanding others. You know, it will go a long way to helping to create more peace in the world, right? So in Unity, we, talk a lot about our aim is to see beyond the appearance and the behaviors of others, and to try to see the divine self, the Christ within. the absolute truth of who that person is, right? This is really the meaning of namaste. When we say namaste, it is the divine in me that sees and honors the divine in you. And sometimes that's easier said than done, right? Particularly with people that we don't share the same opinions with, or act in ways that we feel is frustrating or triggers us, or maybe just baffles us, It's sometimes difficult to see the divine self in someone else. So, the good news is that there are specific steps. There's a technique that we can use to get us there. So, Marshall Rosenberg, who developed the technique of nonviolent communication, which we did a whole big book study on a couple of years ago. How many of you were part of that? You were a study group, yeah. It was really beautiful. And it takes practice, right? It takes constantly trying to remember these ideas. So he believed that behind every action, no matter how frustrating or even hurtful, there is a human being that is trying to meet a need. There's a human being trying to meet a need. And I remember when I first learned this, it was kind of early in acting class. Because in order to play a character, any character, you have to find what their need is, what their driving need is. Right? And then you have to discover how important it is for them to meet that need. That's key, right? And it works because it's true of everyone. It's true of everyone, fictional or real. Even bank robbers, right? So I was thinking about this movie that came out, oh God, was it the 70s, Dana? Dog Day Afternoon. Al Pacino, right? He goes in and he robs them. He's not a bank robber, but he robs a bank. And he's not very good at it. And he sort of fumbles his way through. And then over the course of the movie, it's revealed that he needs the money to pay for the surgery of his partner who was transitioning. And this is based on a real story. This is like a real person who did this. And all the feds come and they have these scenes of negotiating, trying to negotiate, It's a really powerful movie if you haven't seen it. Anyway, everyone is trying to meet a need, no matter what, and understanding that is key. So, to begin to understand what the need is, for ourselves or for others, we really need to listen with our heart. This is what Marshall Rosenberg talks about. Listening with our heart. In other words, sort of practicing empathy. Practicing empathy. And the Chinese philosopher Chuang-Tzu, maybe I've pronounced that, Chuang-Tzu, yeah, Wei helped me with that this morning. He defined it as listening with your whole being. Listening with your whole being. Wow. How rare it is, right? To have somebody fully present, fully listening to us these days, right? That is so rare that when it happens, it feels almost magical. But to be fully heard, to be fully seen, to have somebody fully present with us, it's what we all crave, right? And so Chuang-Tzu continues, and he says, in order to listen with our full being, we must empty all of our preconceptions, everything that's going on inside of us, and bring our attention to the moment. Bring our attention to that other person. So, usually when we're listening to someone, we're maybe halfway listening, maybe half of the time we're judging them or seeing if they're in alignment with what we believe or thinking about what we're going to say next, right? Rarely fully present. But again, there is specific steps here that we can take that will help us in this. And that's what the NVC process is all about. It's simple, it's straightforward, but it's not easy. It's not easy, right? But it becomes easier as we continue to practice it. So let's look at the basic steps of nonviolent communication. If I could bring up the first slide there. Now, this is for understanding ourselves. We'll use this in a moment to understand others. So the first thing is we observe without judgment and state what that action is, what the thing is, what the event is. The second thing is we identify our feelings, how we feel, right? How we're feeling when we observe it, when we experience it. The third thing is we identify a need or desire, values that connect with the feeling, that's really underneath the feeling. And then the fourth thing is that we take concrete action to fill the need. We either take concrete action or we make a request of somebody. Make a request that, as Marshall Rosenberg says, enriches our lives. We want to make a request that enriches our lives. All right, so it doesn't really become real until you put it into practice, and so let's go through an example. All right, so let's say, and we can just keep that up. So let's say I'm having trouble completing an important project, and if I can remove my judgment of myself from that event, and those of you who have done any Buddhist practices or you've studied Buddha, you are way ahead of the game, because that's kind of the idea, right? Is to witness, to observe something without judgment and attachment. So just going through this process kind of helps us in that. Okay, maybe naming it will help me, take a little space here and remove my judgment of it. And then, I kind of notice that, and I notice that I've got a lot of tension in my body. Remember last week we were talking about listen to the signals that your body is telling you. Have you been doing that this week? We said we would do that this week. Yeah? We can continue to do that, listen to the signals. A lot of tension. Maybe I'm having trouble sleeping. So I'm naming these things, I'm identifying what's happening. Now, let's look at the list of possible feelings. And we've got a slide here with many different, so many, I know you're going to have trouble reading this, which is why I made some handouts available so that you can take this and look at it. We're really expanding our repertoire of feeling here. We're expanding the repertoire, and I think the idea is the more specific we can be, sad, okay, sad. No, I am feeling gloomy. I'm feeling heavy-hearted. I'm, feeling melancholy. Just if we can get more specific and name it, again, it creates some space so we don't get overwhelmed and consumed by the feeling. That helps us. So the feeling that I might identify with this here is exhaustion, maybe, fear, maybe, helplessness, maybe a little bit of that. All right, so we identify the feeling, and then we want to identify with the need that is connected with that. The need that's underneath that. So let's look at the slide that has all of the list of needs. Again, this gets real specific, more specific we can get. What is it that I need? What is it that's missing? The need that is unmet, that if I had this, it would bring me into more harmony, right? It would enrich my living. So I would say to be understood, maybe. Peace, definitely. Ease, right? So I know that that's the thing that's driving the feelings because I've identified it. And now, from this awareness, now that I've identified what's going on, I can make a request. I can either request help from someone, or I can take a definite action, maybe extend the deadline, right? So either of those two things that come out of my becoming more in tune with what I'm feeling and needing will help me get through this. Are you getting a sense of how this works? Yeah, okay. All right, so this helps me not only in understanding myself more, but also in communicating with others, the communication. Okay, so let's go now to understanding others. We're going to use the same process. So if somebody is acting in a way that we feel is inappropriate, or it's triggering us, or, something that's going on, we often make up a story about it. We talked about this last week. In the absence of facts, we can come up with all kinds of juicy stories about that person and what they're doing, and we assign motives to them that have no basis in fact. Right? We've created the story and now we're running with it, right? So we want to use the NVC process to first understand our reaction, what we're feeling about it, and also to ask them, to actively ask them what they're feeling and what they're needing that gets them interested in introspection and maybe, what is it? And now you've got real communication. So we'll go through this process. All right, let's take a deep breath together. All right, so we start with the first thing, which is to observe the action, to observe something. So let's say my partner is mad at me and yelling at me. Not that my husband would ever do that. This is just a theory. This is just a fictional story. So I'm observing that fact, right? All right, so maybe tune in. Okay, so this is the empathy thing. This is we're tuning in to our heart, to the empathy of the other person, and thinking about what they may be feeling. And we can ask. This is the thing. You can ask. Guess, and you're kind of guessing what they may be feeling, and you can ask them directly, and then if that's not it, they'll correct you, and then at least it gets them thinking about what it is they are feeling, gets them thinking, reflecting inside. So I might say, well, I'm guessing you're feeling worried that I might get delayed and we won't make it to this event on time. Is that right? Well, no, it may be more like I'm just frustrated that you're not here right now. Okay, so now we got some clarity on what the feeling is. All right, we got clarity. And then now we go to step 3, which is we want to tune into the need, the unmet need that's behind that. What could that unmet need be? So maybe, and again, we're guessing, right? So maybe you need some assurance. Maybe you need some communication. You need more communication. Maybe that's the unmet need here. And again, ask, is that correct? And the person can say yes or no, and then again, it gets them thinking about what it could be, right? And then by this point, they usually, most people have already thought about a request, to ask. But if not, you can ask them, is there a request that you'd like to make? Right? Is there a request that you'd like to make here? And this really connects us with the basic need we all have, is to be heard, to be understood, to be, experienced fully. Okay, so this whole process might feel a little cumbersome, and it is at first, but again, with practice, it becomes more natural. And just the idea behind the process, it's really the idea behind the process that gets us out of judgment. It gets us out of judging others as wrong or, bad or lazy or neurotic or whatever, story we're making up in our head. It gets us to stop making stories, stop judging, and then we are able to see that, there might be something behind this behavior, an unmet need. And it helps us to open our heart and connect with that. So it's empathetic listening. Empathetic listening is so healing for ourselves, for others, for the world. For the world, really, right? We're adding light. So let's now take a look at what doesn't help. I think sometimes it's important to name what doesn't help. And then we can go, oh, okay, this is clear. This is a communication style that's not helping. So maybe if I do this, this will. And we're all human beings. We have all done this. I'm telling you, we've all done this, thinking that we're being helpful for somebody. Okay, so let's say somebody is going through a tough time, or they're, really sad or depressed or whatever. So how we respond to them either, creates connection or it destroys connection. All right, so what we're saying then and how we're being in our heart makes a big difference. So let's bring up the slide of the few ways that maybe don't always work. Giving advice. You should do it this way. If it were me, I would have done it this way. Not always helpful. The second thing is minimizing and one-upping, right? That's nothing. Wait till you hear what happened to me. So we are minimizing their experience. And also, and I think, again, this is like we're trying to be helpful. Maybe if they knew what big thing we were able to overcome, that would be helpful for them. I'm sure that's where that's coming from. But they're not always willing to hear that at the moment, right? Educating, right? This experience will really be helpful in your spiritual growth. If you let it, right? And that's probably true. It's probably true, but they may not be ready to hear that, and maybe not from you, And then, okay, the last one is cheering up, right? Cheering up. Oh, it's okay. It's not so bad. Let's look on the bright side, right? Let's look on the bright side. We do this all the time in New Thought. We do, because, either we're uncomfortable with the negative experience and feelings, and then we just want people to, we love people, right? We want them to feel good. We want them to walk into the light and to feel more positive and get into that higher vibration. That's what that desire is. And so we sort of skip over all of the process of feeling our feelings, letting them feel their feelings, and to sort of move through that process and then get there. So again, these are things that are not necessarily helpful, but what is helpful is to be present, to just be present, to listen with our hearts, to listen with our entire being. And then maybe, at that point, we may help them discover what the feeling is and what their need, the unmet need is. Okay. So this whole process, when we release judgment, we're making room for connection. We're making room for understanding. We're making room for understanding, and we can stop reacting to the story that we've created in our head and start responding to what is. We can start responding to what is, to seeing what might be behind that behavior and connecting with that human need that is not being met. That works for ourselves and for others too. And that's really, and we don't need to approve of their behavior. This is not about that, right? It's about looking at the need that's behind that and then bringing our humanity. And when we bring our humanity, that helps us connect with our humanity. And now we've got a holy encounter. Course in Miracles talks about the holy encounter when you're coming together, vulnerable heart to heart. It's a holy encounter. Okay, so breathe again. I want to ask you to think about somebody right now that you're having difficulty with. Somebody you feel is difficult. Maybe you're having a challenge with. Could be somebody in your past or somebody in your present, maybe somebody you don't even know, but you've heard of that is challenging for you. And then just turn within, close your eyes, take some slow, deep breaths. Bring that person into your awareness. Really see them in your mind's eye. And silently, just reflect on these ideas. What story have I been telling myself about this person? What story have I been telling myself about this person? What might they actually be feeling? What might they actually be feeling? Just allow that to bubble up. What human need could be beneath their behavior? So we've been talking about what the possible needs behind the behavior that drive that. What human need could be underneath that behavior? Take a moment and explore that. Keep breathing. What if this person is actually doing the best he or she can with the consciousness they have at the time? What if they are doing the best they possibly can with the consciousness that they have right now? Their level of consciousness. All right, and bring your awareness back. Now, this is not about excusing harmful behavior. And it's not about tossing our boundaries out of the window. And it's not pretending that everything's okay. It's not about that. It's really about, again, that last question, seeing that every one of us does the best we possibly can with the consciousness we have at the time. Right? We are all on a journey of awakening. We're all on a journey of awakening, I'm telling you, trying to make it through this upside down world that's asleep and dreaming a dream of separation. People are in different places with that awakening process. So when we know that, when we can see that, when we can see the need behind the person, that really helps us open our heart, and maybe we can be part of that awakening. Maybe we can be part of that light, of that awakening process for others, and just putting that energy out into the world, right? Understanding it's ultimately love made visible. Understanding is love made visible. And when we practice listening, when we practice understanding, you know, we can help to lift somebody up. Not only are we changing our thinking and changing our conversation, we're actually becoming instruments of peace. We're becoming the instruments of peace. And we can see that no matter, you know, what somebody does, behind that is a person that is longing for the same thing that we are. It looks different, granted, it looks different for everybody, but behind that is the same basic thing that we're all longing for: to be heard, to be valued, right? To belong, to be loved. Those are basic human needs that we're all, people go about it differently, but those are the basic things. So we want to connect with that. You know, again, healthy boundaries. We're not talking about removing boundaries. We're not pretending everything is okay. We're just practicing understanding and practicing listening and opening our hearts and being that empathetic presence, bringing our whole presence, okay? All right, truly, let's say namaste to each other. Turn to the person next to you and say namaste. And then on the other side, namaste. That's what that is. That's what we're doing. We're putting it into practice, right? Okay, thank you.
Okay, two things. I'm not usually a breakdown kind of guy with tears when I sing songs in other places, but here I regularly break down in tears while I'm singing songs. I think it's because you guys are very loving and I feel that energy and it's very nice. But I just thought I'd say, I don't know, I tried really hard not to do it. Didn't make it, but speaking of communication, yeah. So you know, you could ask, well, what would I don't know, what would Scotty Scheffler do, or what would somebody, you can think of anybody, or you could say, what would love do? And that's kind of what the theme of this is. And so this is a lovely song by Karen Drucker called "What Would Love Do." Whenever I've hurt in my heart, I ask, what would love do? Whenever I don't know where to turn, I ask, what would love do? Whenever I don't know what to say, I ask, what would love do? What would love do? Anytime I'm stuck in my pain, love do? Anytime that I feel ashamed, I ask, what would love do? Anytime I can't find my truth, I ask, what would love do? What would love do? What would love do? Love has all the answers. Love will lead me to the truth. Help me to understand that life is all about love. Love is all about love. When I have something hard I need to say, I ask, what would love do? When it seems like a block is in my way, I ask, what would love do? When it seems I can't face another day, what would love do? What would love do? What would love do? Love has all the answers. Love makes no demands. Love will lead me to the truth. Help me to understand life is all about love. Situation I ask, what would love do? When I'm feeling my limitations, I ask, what would love do? I have to look into my soul and say, what would love do? What would love do? What would love do? What would love do? What would love do?
Pretty close.
Sorry, there are props in there that I almost took out. Anyways, thank you, Reverend Victoria. Some of you know that nonviolent communication is something that I attempt to practice daily. And there is this aspect of when you slow it down, which that process does, there's the possibility for both and. But if I'm not willing, then it's either or. And frankly, that sucks. So I don't recommend it. So would you all join me in our vision and mission, but really feeling that both and possibility as we say these words? So together, a vision. We envision the divine light awakening in all. Our mission. We center in peace and love. We connect in our hearts with others. We celebrate our journey toward wholeness, and we empower others to experience their spiritual magnificence. And so it is, yes. And wow, if we can understand each other, that spiritual magnificence just blossoms. So, moving on, one of the needs of this community is finances. You were seeing that coming, right? I mean, it was handed to me. But it is a mutual need in that if we support this community, it can support you. So it is a flow. And if you're here for the first time, you can just sit back and take it in. And for those of you that have been here a while, there are various ways of doing this. It's all spelled out there. But if you are giving digitally, we do have a blue card, so you have a physical representation to put in there. Or if you're a conscious sustainer, we have the bright green card. And the other stuff is figured out there. Would you feel that love that is you in that representation, whatever that is? Because that's the juice. The numbers, they work out how the numbers work out. But that energy is the peace that gives that gratitude and flows it through. So would you hold whatever representation that you have and join me in our blessing, which is at the top of that screen. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am.
The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth.
And joined with me is our wonderful prayer leader, team leader, and prayer partner for today, Lorraine Lewis, anchoring this in with that prayerful energy. If you feel called, if you would extend your hands, because these are the combined gifts. These are our love moving through this community, blessing not only those that are giving, but for also the proceeds. Some of this gets tithed to IFC, one of our local charities, in a substantial way, offering it in ways that they can orchestrate that we can't personally. But also blessing and multiplying everything that these gifts touch, going throughout the global economy, brightening wherever they go. And in through that economy and everything else, the exchanges, it comes back to the giver in the ways that are wanted and needed to flow out and back in again and again and again. And so it is. Yay, thank you. And Lorraine is taking out our prayer requests. So if there's anything in your heart or head that you would like prayed over by a wonderful trained prayer team, put it in the box. It'll be in the foyer. Ah, yes. And if you're here for the first or second time or just recently coming, thank you so much for being part of us. If you're here for the first time and you want one of these and you haven't gotten one of these, perhaps you already got it, you can raise your hand for that. If you have one of these, if you would fill it out, get it back to one of our greeters, myself, Reverend Victoria, that would be amazing. And if you're here for the second or third time and you would like a little more, we have this if you want to raise your hand. But we are so happy that you're deciding to be part of us. All right. If you haven't noticed, we have these amazing flowers here. Just an explosion of color, my kind of thing. And it is from our Jessica Starr, thank you. And I want to read what she has given us for the dedication. So as I have reflected on writing this, there are countless people for whom I am grateful and countless people suffering for whom I feel compassion. And yet, what my heart called out for was to dedicate these beautiful flowers to our original good mother, the earth. In the words of Robin Wall Kimmerer in Braiding Sweetgrass, it is not enough to weep for our lost landscapes. We have put our hands in the earth to make ourselves whole. We have to put our hands into the earth to make ourselves whole again. Even a wounded world is feeding us. Even a wounded world holds us, giving us moments of wonder and joy. I choose joy over despair, not because I have my head in the sand, but because joy is what the earth gives me daily, and I must return the gift. And so, I humbly ask that each of us take a moment to feel joy and gratitude in our hearts in this moment now for our generous mother and all her gifts. Thank you for all you provide. We love you. And I have no idea how to do this, but there is a sparkly heart emoji at the end of that. So I will just kind of draw it out. Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. And yes, as you can see, there's some colorful joy coming right out of that vase. All right. I'm going to hand it back over.
So we have a really fun song. We've got a slide for it, so I do encourage you to sing along during the chorus. No slide? Aw. Aw. Okay. Maybe you know it. Anyway, it's called Count on Me by Bruno Mars. It's really fun. You'll get it. All right. If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. We find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are meant to do, oh yeah. Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, oops, every day I will remind you. We find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, and I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, 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 yeah, yeah. You'll always have my shoulder when you cry. You'll never let go, never say goodbye. You know you can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You can count on me 'cause I can count on you. Thank you. Thanks for helping out.
Thank you, Roshana. We got it. We got it. Yeah. All right. So, and I just want to remind you again that the handouts that have all of the needs and all of the, well, not all, I mean all that he has listed for needs and feelings on both sides it's in the hallway and the foyer. So pick one up and take that with you. Okay, and at the last moment, Irina came up to me and said that this art, which is Judith Schneider's photos, this is the last day that they will be here because we're changing the art this week. They're all for sale, right? So if you want to, this is your last chance to pick up one of these. If something's been calling to you and you've been waiting, now's the time. Okay. All right. So next Sunday, I want to talk about this idea of bring a friend and neighbor. This is kind of the first time we're getting into doing this. A lot of other churches do this. It's about time we do this. And so, don't keep it a secret. If it speaks to you, if this is speaking to you, there's a friend or a neighbor. And some of you are really good at doing that. I'm looking around some faces knowing that you do that. But if you haven't yet, and you think maybe this person might get as much out of it as I do, then ask them. And, ways that you can say it is, I always leave here feeling lighter after Sunday morning. I'd love to share that with you. There's just different ways to ask. That it's positive, it's not preachy, the music is wonderful, very easy ways to ask about that. Okay, so that's next Sunday, and next Sunday is also Supernova Sunday, so it's a good time to have them come. All right, so the next Sacred Space event is the full moon and Lamas ceremony, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Lamas ceremony with Brian Reeser, who participates in a lot of our outdoor sacred space events. There is a fire circle and a whole ceremony Friday, July 31st, 7 to 8:30. Okay, and Roshana, do you want to talk about this movie? The Story of Everything, that our pick-a-party is, you're doing, this is a fundraiser, a pick-a-party fundraiser on this, right?
There we go. Yeah, it was a movie that David Glass actually brought to our attention, and it was only in the area for like a couple of weeks and only at certain show times, and Robbie and I went to it, and it was just like, oh my God. And so I immediately wanted to see it again, and it wasn't available for quite a while, but I finally got it and bought it, and so we are going to show it. It's about, how we always say, trust the science, yeah? But science has gotten away from a lot of indigenous wisdom and a lot of spiritual wisdom sometimes, and so this is just showing like our huge universe and our bodies and just the intricate ways that we were designed. That's just unbelievable. Anyway, this movie is just like, you just leave gobsmacked. That's all I can say. And next week we'll have David explain what this movie is more about, because he's so eloquent. I'm just going blah, 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 blah. David is like really eloquent in talking about this movie.
We get it.
Yep.
Yeah. We all want to be gobsmacked.
Yeah.
Or God-smacked, I don't know what. God-smacked. Okay, so there's the QR code there if you want to come, make sure that you register. And today after the service, finally, we're doing our community art project. So if you've been waiting with bated breath, when can I start, painting on that? Our board is out there, and it's divided into segments. I think many of you, when I was gone, wrote on the sign-up sheet for taking a section of that. So there's paints out there. There are paintbrushes out there. After the service, please help yourself. This is your idea of peace. What does peace look like to you visually? And it can be anything, right? It could be anything. So and it's not, you don't have to finish it today. It's just starting today. And we'll also do it next week and the week after. And if you can't make it on a Sunday, you want to do it on a Wednesday or something, you can come during the week and do it as well. Okay. I want to mention about the pre-service meditation, because it's a wonderful gift, a wonderful free service that is here. There is something about meditating with other people You know, I meditate every day myself, and it's a wonderful practice and necessary, but meditating with others, there's just something about the vibrations increase, and it's just really heart opening. So if you haven't done it, try it. Come here a little bit early in the morning on Sunday at 10:30, and it's in the back on the room on the right. Okay, Sacred Cafe, after the service, are we doing it indoors or outdoors? Anybody know? I don't see anything. Yeah, I guess we're doing it outdoors. So please join us for some refreshments and good stuff and good conversation and connection. Sacred Cafe. Deeper Dive is also happening today, facilitated by Gain Steer at 12:30. So if you want to grab a cup of coffee and a snack, you can do that. Please help yourself and then take that back into that last room on the right. 3-Minute Miracle today. Our prayer partner is Lorraine Lewis. Thank you, Lorraine, for filling in. And so she'll be available to help you to see the highest possible perspective, open heart, open cosmic consciousness to see whatever's going on in your life or whoever you'd like prayer for. And if you are online, then please, and you'd like to have somebody pray with you, somebody will call you and pray with you after the service. So just write an email at prayer@unitychapelhill.org, put in your phone number and name, and they'll call you back. All right, I think we've got kids and we've got puppets, and I'm going to put my giraffe ears on.
All right. I am the radiant life of God. I am, I am, I am. I am the radiant life of God. I am, I am, I am. The health of God, the strength of God, vitality, energy, vim of God. I am the radiant life of God. I am, I am, I am.
Good afternoon, y'all. Hi. Big thanks to Kai for coming today and also on Friday. And then, of course, the 2 powerful children showing up today. Woo! And it's belated to James' birthday. Yay. So we made pancakes and just hung out, celebrated. We did talk about what you all heard and tried to give them the 2-minute version of it, about the jackal and the giraffe.
We actually didn't talk about
Oh, okay.
Rosenberg had the giraffe he worked with these to help children and adults. The giraffe represents that compassionate voice because it's got a big heart and he has to seize it from a highest possible perspective. And the jackal, maybe not so much, is in the process of learning. That's what it is.
Yeah, and we did continue somewhat of the spiral collage. Yeah, next month we're going to next week we're going to finish it. Newton's going to lead, finish the spiral, and continue talking about to have that internal and external misunderstanding. Ooh, we did talk about the power of misunderstanding. We tried to figure out if there was any power in that. There's a lot of potentiality, but yeah. And real quick, one more thing. The movie night, if you weren't here, went really, really well on Friday.
Yes, it did.
Yep. We had 2 new families that just kind of came through. We'll see if they come back. But more importantly, we had a really great time. We fed people. We spread joy and enjoyment through the movie. So
Yes,
awesome.
Thank you, Shannon, for
you're welcome.
bringing that to us. Let's bless these children and the children everywhere. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you just the way you are. And we behold the Christ in you. Mwah. Or the giraffe in you. We behold the giraffe in you. All right, let's stand, take a hand, say our prayer of protection with I am statements, and then sing the peace song. All right, let's take a nice deep breath. And together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Hi, it's Reverend Victoria here. I'm at Unity Center of Peace with our house band, Bright Matter.
Hello.
Yeah, and if this video has inspired you or empowered you or opened your heart, opened your consciousness, or even just given you hope, we ask that you support what we're doing here by making a donation today, going to unitychapelhill.org or clicking the link below. And we thank you.
Thank
Thank you.